Hey Scorpio. So here we have your layout, right? And it starts out with like your physical journey, where you are here in the physical earthly realm. And then it's kind of goes counterclockwise to, it's supposed to kind of represent like where you're communing with your higher self or with spirit. And then coming right back down to the bottom, bringing that information and knowledge right back to where you are. Oops, sorry, I just kicked the table. Um, so let's get started. This first card represents the issue at hand. So for the month of August for you guys, it's about gaining a deeper understanding, a different perspective. Give me a second, please. Okay, I actually had to pause it because sometimes these messages come in like slow, but for you guys, August is about realizing that you are a reflection of the divine. Scorpios are very intuitive and emotional already, psychic, and I think that's just why it's so beautiful and appropriate that there's so much water in this reading. But and I'm going to say we because I'm Scorpio rising and I feel like it's such a huge part of my identity and personality. So I don't want you guys to feel like I'm picking on you. But what I'm going to say is I feel like we can be very emotional and in a not nice way, right? So what this is about is when you get emotional, this is really about recognizing that as a reflection of the divine, try to reflect the divine into the world. Does that make sense? By recognizing that the whole world is an extension and a reflection of the divine, that your children are, strangers are, even situations that really just rile you up. Everything that is occurring is a reflection of the divine's will. And to not take it personally, to not think it's you, you know what I mean? Like nobody's picking on you, to not think that there's anything wrong with you. But that it's really super important for you to see yourself in a better light, to see yourself as not dark, to see yourself as divine, to see yourself, I don't know how to say that everything that you do and say is a reflection of our Creator, that you are beautiful, I guess is what I was wanting to say. Yeah, that you are beautiful in your existence. That's a big part of what you're working on this month. And then this one is about how to heal that. I had to leave that way. So, perfect. Scorpios, you guys are like continuously in a cycle of death and rebirth. The phoenix is one of the animals besides the scorpion that represents Scorpio. So the cycles of birth and rebirth is usually like triggered by something in our life dying, right? Maybe a way of life. A way of life dies, therefore you are triggered into change, and that starts or triggers, it's a catalyst for you, your death in a mental and emotional, spiritual way, right? But that's supposed to happen for Scorpios. I think when Scorpios are not on their journey, or they're not really like right on their path, is when Scorpio questions it and fights it. So whatever loss you've been dealing with, that could be like the loss of a relationship, a marriage, the loss of a certain style of living, right? Maybe you've lost a lot of money and had to downsize from, a beautiful mansion to a smaller home. And you haven't been able to accept it, because you're still fighting it and you're upset and frustrated about it. You could even be the loss, of a loved one. What's going to help you to heal that situation is by understanding that, again, since everything is a reflection of the divine, that loss is also a reflection of the divine's will. Okay, this next card represents the gift or the outcome. It's not your fault. Yeah, so I feel like this is definitely confirming that there is like a really big loss in your life that's very much been impacting you and the way you feel. Now, for some of you, for some of us, when we lose something, it's part of the grieving process to start pointing fingers and say, well, it was so-and-so's fault because of this, and well, it was so-and-so's fault because of that. But deep down, I feel like it's more of like, that's the defense mechanism, because deep down, you really, are afraid, like, what did I do wrong? What did I do that was so wrong? How did I mess up so badly? What this is telling you that there's going to be, I feel like you're going to come to a place where you realize that you didn't do anything wrong. Nothing that you could have done or should have done, according to you, would have really changed anything, because it was supposed to end when it did and how it did. And that's part of the great master plan that none of us is, we don't have the rights to see it. But having that peace, I feel, is coming for you in the month of August. And August is going to be an opportunity for you to, I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. Now, again, this is coming from your self. This is a first person reading, right? So Scorpios are known for their sting. And the reason Scorpios sting, it's a defense mechanism. And it's a defense mechanism because you're afraid of getting hurt. So part of the Scorpio chart is having like issues with, the mother, and the mother, it wasn't present or whatever, but there was issues with the mother. So that's going to apply to, some people, not everybody, but the point is that I feel like there's a lot of love that was held back from you, either from one parent or both. And that resulted in you feeling maybe a lower self-worth. Because when you're denied love from anybody, but especially a parent, you feel like you're not worth anything. You feel like, rejected. And what this is saying is that this is an opportunity for you to love yourself and to show yourself that you loving yourself is more important than any other human being loving you. And not only that is by recognizing that things end the way they do, I think is going to give you the opportunity to love yourself more. For example, let's use the example of the woman that's got it all, the fancy purses, the beautiful car, the beautiful house, so many friends, and you're always there. If your friends need help, you're the first one to, pitch in, and maybe you hired a mover for your best friend when she or he was moving. And, maybe you knew that, your brother or sister was having a hard time. So you took your relatives and your nieces and nephews and like an all expense paid trip, right? Well, maybe you had all of your finances taken away from you so that you could see that these people love you even without your money, even without what you can physically offer, that you are worth loving, and that people do love you and that people do value you despite what you think you need to barter with, if that makes sense. So whatever you're going through right now, this is an opportunity for you to recognize your own self-worth, for you to love yourself. And in doing so, you are going to start attracting in more of the good things that you want. And others will see you. And if if you have been looking for a relationship, that will help attract in a relationship. And this last position here is special guidance for you for the month of August. I am here helping you. So Scorpios by nature are very psychic, very intuitive. So this is telling you, I'm just going to switch, getting eaten up by mosquitoes out here. This is telling you that you're not alone. Your higher self is here to help you. If you feel like you're out there flapping in the wind all by yourself, it could be that you've been disconnected from Source. Not because Source did it, but because you have been neglecting that relationship, right? And just like any relationship, it has to be worked on. Your best friend isn't your best friend, because you didn't spend all the hours talking and hanging out and building that relationship. Well, Source and your higher self are available to you. You just have to reach out. In a sincere way, I will add. Okay, let's do a recap, Scorpio. So for you guys, what you're working through this month is gaining a deeper understanding of the world around you. Appreciating that everything, including yourself, is beautiful. That every situation, every relationship, every child, every gain and every loss is a reflection of what the divine wants to have happen on Earth. What will help you heal is to understand that the loss that you are grieving was meant to leave your life in the way that it did and when it did. I think the outcome for you is going to be a realization, that's going to bring you a peace of mind that there's nothing that you could have done that would have changed anything. Don't have any regret. Don't mull it over in your mind, because it was going to end when it did and how it did, no matter what. This is an opportunity for you to love yourself, to really take steps to recognize your own self-worth, and that others love you and value you for who you are, not for what you can give them. And those that only value your friendship or your existence because of what you used to be able to give them will also fall away to the wayside. And the special guidance is knowing that you can reach out to your higher self for assistance, and you can reach out to Source, the universe, for assistance anytime. You just have to take the steps to do so. That applies to your spirit guides too.